Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Presented by Carolina Lakeweights. Come get with us. When the action begins in the studio, our referees for tonight's event are Elgato Azul and Carolina Real Streamers. For the viewers in attendance and Facebook and YouTube users around the world, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Live from the Elgato Azul TV studio in Louisville, Texas, it's time! What's up, slime lovers? I'm your host, Chris, a.k.a. Elgato Azul, my partner in slime, Mr. Jamie Dunn, Carolina Lakeweights.
What's up, everybody?
What's happening?
Not a whole lot, man. Just a full day and just now relaxing and ready for the show.
Dude, I fished all day, then drove home in freaking 5 o'clock traffic with the giant boat dragging behind the truck.
Man, that could be exhausting in itself, brother.
Oh, man. Some dude hawked me down and was like, and then I looked down at my phone and it's somebody I know from Facebook texting saying, "Hey, I feel like I just passed a legend." I'm like, I thought you were pissed that I did something wrong, like got in your lane or something.
Man, isn't that awesome, man? To get that text and somebody says that's got to be pretty cool.
Man, it's a pain in the ass driving home in traffic in that thing.
Yeah.
We fished. We had a good day of fishing. It was tough fishing conditions today, boys, but we got her done. We ended up having a pretty good day.
Nice. How's the weather down there?
Man, it was pea soup fog this morning when we started and zero wind. We didn't have wind all day till the very end. We got a little wind, but it was one of those days, man, where the weatherman was wrong. So
go figure that, man.
Damn, he was way wrong. It was supposed to be 7 to 15 mile an hour wind. There was not even a ripple on the lake all day.
Wow. That's crazy how they can be that far off.
I don't get it. How do they keep their job?
By lying to us a lot of times.
Hell, I took off work because I thought, oh, man, I'm going to have great wind today, south wind, warm up after the front. He was wrong.
Oh, man.
Tommy Anderson, we had a good time.
That's awesome. That's awesome, brother. Shine.
So let's run through here. We got Mr. Gadget. It says, good evening, everyone. Merry Christmas. Tight lines to all. Merry Christmas to you, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Killer B says, howdy, everyone. Welcome in, Bill. Eagle Eyes 110, they got him a PB today.
I know, man. Congratulations, brother, on that one. Wow.
He's on a roll. Pontoon Jody says, hello, listening while driving.
Well, how you doing, Miss Jody?
Hadn't seen Jody in here in a while. Welcome in. Owen Coke says, what's up, Slimers? Man, I'm beat from fishing all day. But feels pretty good not having to go to work.
Lucky dog.
Catfish Junkie says, what's up, everybody? Jeremy Yankovic says, good evening.
What's up, buddy?
Angel says, good evening. The Realist Fishing says, what's up, Slime family? Finally feeling better. Hope everyone's feeling good today. I'm feeling good, except my hands are hurting.
More war scars.
Never ending this time of year. I can't get them healed up.
Man, I'm glad you're feeling better there, brother.
Yeah, so he got the sickness that's going around. So. My son woke up not feeling well this morning, but he ended up going to school. He's fine, so thank God. Lisa DeVille says, hey, happy Wednesday. Welcome in. Big Texas. Hello, y'all. Michael Cox says, what's up, guys?
What's up, buddy?
Country Roads Catfisherman says, "What's up, brothers? Welcome in." Texas Cowboy says, "What's up, brothers?" And John Wayne, where's John Wayne been?
I don't know, man. I haven't heard from him in a while.
MIA. What's up? He says, "What's up, boys?"
What's up, brother?
Lisa says her son wanted to go fishing last night for a couple of hours. We skunked the first time with him. It happens.
Yeah.
That's part of fishing. Makes the good trips that much sweeter, you know. All right. Ronaldo says, "What's going on, my Texas fam?" We're going to get into some more catfishing, even though I've been catfishing all damn day. Been up since 5 a.m. doing this crap. But I love it, so I'd do it every day if I could. I would need a hand transplant. I would like Terminator style robot hands if I did this every day. I don't know how guys do it. Kent says hello from Central Illinois. Juan says 58.41 because you know that 0.1 makes the difference, Juan. Broke his PB twice this week. You're a lucky son of a gun. Congrats, buddy.
I was about to say, man, he's been on a roll, man.
Gadget Green says, "Let's see them knuckles." They got chewed up pretty good today. I wore gloves for the most part. Just that first one was a doozy. I always do it. I freaking forget to put the gloves on and they just destroy my hands right out the gate. And then I'm like, damn it. JT says, "Good evening, slime fellas. Nice fish, Juan and Chris." Yeah, we had some decent fish today. We missed crazy amount of fish. They were short striking, even though we had stinger hooks on. The stinger hook would be out of the bait and the bait would be crushed in half. And I mean, it was constant all day like that. Not small fish, all bigs, and just couldn't get them going. I mean, we got them going. We just couldn't get them going like I was hoping for. So. We had a 350-pound day, but only probably had a 10% hookup ratio. It was crazy.
Looks like they will soon call you Captain Hook, Chris. Oh, man.
Yeah, I need these hands, though. I mean, that's pretty crucial for... I'm going to have to get a hand transplant. D-Master Outdoors says, "Good evening, all. I got whooped on the water today." Man, it happens. I got out there and my boat wouldn't start.
Oh, man.
I had a cracked fuel line a couple of weeks ago, and I noticed because it was rollers were coming in, and I guess that finished the fuel line off from the bulb, that compression bulb to the boat. It had a little crack in it, and we were taking rollers over the back. I got it fixed, but this trip, it did not want to start. It finally started after about 2 or 3 minutes, but man, I was like, damn, I drove all the way out here. I'm going to have to drive back home.
Jeez.
Thank you, Lord, for starting my boat. Really appreciate it. Dragging speed today was 0.5, Juan. We tried 0.7, didn't get any action. 0.4 wasn't working either, but 0.7, pretty steady bite all day. I did have to move around to find good fish. They were not where I thought. Once we found them, they were loaded. It was a very strange bite. 26, 27 feet was the magic depth for us today. Big Texas says, "I was fishing for 6 hours today and got skunked."
Sounds like it was tough in a lot of places today.
It was tough. We went through 1 million fish to get the ones we got. It's crazy.
It's slower 0.5 better than 0.7.
Today it was for me. I've been going 0.6 because I couldn't get bit going any slower. But today they didn't want that. So they wanted 0.5 where I was at. We went up to 0.8 thinking maybe that'll trigger them because we didn't have any wind. It was, it was literally a lake of glass all day, not 1 mile an hour, just flat.
What was the water temperature today, Chris?
51. Perfect. Perfect big fish temps,
Yeah.
It's weird. The gizzard shad still are not grouped up. I don't understand it. It's
Are you seeing the catfish grouping up a little bit yet, or are they still kind of spread out?
Man, we've been fishing around threadfin. I don't ever do that, but that's where we've been fishing because there's other fish feeding on threadfin that I think the catfish are eating. So typically we get around gizzard shad this time of year. Big giant clouds of gizzard shad on the bottom, but I can't find any gizzard shad grouped up. I can find gizzard shad. They're just not grouped up. They're everywhere. They're where we're fishing, just not grouped up. I don't know. It's weird. Mark Vidal, what's up, boss? Man, about to talk some catfishing. Ed Jenkins says Chris and Jamie, big fist, American flag. Welcome in, buddy. Tony Watkins, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, buddy. All right.
Big Texas was asking, where are we streaming from? I know I'm in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
I'm in North Texas. Justin Bledsoe here. Changed the channel name. Good to see y'all again. Country Roads Catfisherman. I like it.
Yes, sir. Good to see you, buddy.
Got a head start on my taxes, says Catfish Junkie, for my gutter business. So fishing trip to the Mississippi River coming soon. Man, I hope you catch a 110-pounder, buddy. Chris Horde says, fam, fish, flex. Trent Hall says, what's up, fellas? Good job today, Chris. I'm going to call it a victory. It was a tough day, but we grinded, man. We grinded. We fished. We looked literally all over the lake. We found them, but man, it was not easy to get them to come into the boat. They didn't want to come in the boat today. All right, moving on down. Weird bites last night, says Lisa. Yeah, we had weird bites. We'd lost some giants. And I don't know. I mean, typically when you have a giant on like that just grabs it and it's like trying to reel in a concrete sack, you hook them. There's no way they can get off. But I'm using big freaking stinger hooks. I don't have any idea how they can not get hooked with those damn things. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty wild, man.
All right. Here we go. Moving on down. Whole year's been crazy for shad here in Texas. Spring shad run wasn't worth the crap. I hear guys say they're stacked up in the creeks, which is typical this time of year. They go up in the creeks, but usually right now they should be, like after these fronts, they should really be piled up in 30 feet, just stacked for a mile, but they're not. So I don't know. It's every trip's been weird for us. We've had to do things differently than we've done in other years, but we're just trying to figure them out every trip. All right. I think I'm actually caught up.
I'm about to say, I believe you are caught up with us now, brother.
First time ever, man.
I see where some people are commenting where they're from, California Bay Area, North Carolina up in the house. Nice, man. Glad to have everybody with us tonight, guys. Appreciate y'all coming in from all over the place.
Bill says all the leaves haven't fallen yet. We just had another round of wind and cold that blew quite a few down here. but not all the trees have dropped them yet here either. So
Yeah, we had a major cold front that came through Monday morning. We got down to around, actually, I believe it was around 10 degrees with the wind chill. And
dang.
it started yesterday. We got back up into the 20s when we woke up. And I believe today and tomorrow we're going to be close getting back up in the high 50s and 60s coming up, man.
Tomorrow would be a good day to fish.
I wish I could. God. Ah.
Sorry.
Oh, man.
Man, we doubled up on two good, really good fish. I caught mine. Tommy didn't catch his. Let me show you our last fish. I'll show you the first fish of the day, and then the last fish. There's our first fish of the day.
Nice, man. Nice fish.
Caught that one waiting on Tommy to get there. He had a job interview. He got called in for a job interview. There's the last fish of the day.
Wow.
Pretty good bookends.
That's what I'm talking about. Tommy, what's up, man? Why you ain't catching them?
He was. You got to be quick on the trigger if there's no kids on the boat.
Oh man, got to give him a hard time. Got to give him a hard time.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a weird bite day. All the big fish he had on, he lost them all. So.
Man, that's crazy, man. How some days, man, everything can go right, and then the next day they just short bites and just
Some
won't.
days you hook damn near every one. Some
Yeah.
days you can't hardly get one hooked. I'm typically pretty good at figuring out how to hook them on those weird days, but I lost a bunch of fish today, man.
Tom said too slow.
Big ones too.
You're gonna have to give Tom one of them 5-hour energy drinks next time y'all go to get him faster to get to the rods.
Kendall West says today the anchor bite was good, but nothing big. Well, I'm complaining, but we caught 350 pounds of fish. A couple 40s, some 30s, 20s, rest all teeners. Well, a couple 10-pounders, but the teeners are just destroying us today, man.
I'll tell you, brother, there's a lot of people out there that wishes they could have that kind of day. That's for sure.
I'll take it as a victory on a really bad bite day. So Ronaldo says, if no shad, what's your go-to big bait? I don't use shad. Anything but shad. I tell guys I use anything but shad. I don't care what it is. Whatever's big and fresh.
Install a coffee pot on the boat.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be good. I would probably end up drinking too much coffee.
Don't mess. Man, I don't drink that stuff, man. Never have.
I drink a big cup of it every morning. It's not good for you. But I got hooked on it when we had Jackson because he would stay up. He would never sleep. So I would just be exhausted having to go to work. So I got on the coffee and I never let it go. So,
I told Chris I didn't feel so bad when he was losing fish also.
Yeah, I mean, I probably lost the two biggest fish of the day.
Wow.
I mean, I don't get it, man.
Hey, just another weird day out there, brother. Right? We talked.
Today, I was saying today we were about to just destroy him. And then the weatherman says, no, sir, I lied. You boys are not fishing with wind today.
It just goes to show you, man, you can have a plan going into it and completely turn upside down when you get there. That you'll have to adapt to the situations. And it sounds to me that's what a lot of people, man, we talk about it all the time, how fishing has changed year after year. and how you're having to adapt to all kinds of new situations that you would think would be one way, but are totally different ways.
Yeah, I think with the changing weather, fish habits are changing. They're making big adjustments.
Yep.
So anglers got to be able to adjust on the fly.
And that's what makes great catfishermen is to having to adapt to situations so fast. It really is.
Other than speed, are there tricks to have your boards spread farther? I'll let Jamie start. I know I got some tricks to help them. Uh, Jamie, what are some tips you would give to somebody who's trying to get their boards, other than speed,
Well,
obviously? Like
if it was
if you're on a day and they're not spreading good, let's give a couple of scenarios. Let's say you're having to go slow and you put your boards out, but they're not wanting to spread. Is there anything you can do to help them spread a little better?
in situations like that, Chris, I don't know as far as what you, but myself, I'll go a little bit not as far out with my boards. I'll keep them in just a little bit closer to the boat. That seems to me when I do that, that works a lot better on days where you're not say no speed. So I'm keeping my boards in closer.
I
And
agree. I will do that. I will say this: when you're putting them out, try to get them out to the side of the boat when you're doing it, and that'll help them. Just the initial of getting them out, they'll be out further.
yep,
The other thing is once you get them to the kind of the distance you want them, crank on them and get that line out of the water straight to the board and get that board corrected and pulled out a little bit before you just let them pull on their own.
yep,
That'll help them pull a lot better if you get them start pulling correctly, get the line out of the water, because that tension in the water will pull that board where it's pulling like that, and then it's not going to pull
that's
right.
it.
It won't pull as good. But
That's it.
you get that line straight to the board and then crank on it a few times until one that clip sometimes needs to flip
Just
back
set.
out and point straight towards you, and doing all those things will help.
Yep.
The other thing
It,
is if you're in big wind, put on a heavier weight. I know it seems weird to say put a heavier weight on, but they will pull much better if you're pulling in big wind if you've got like a 3 ounce weight on.
yeah.
That's what
And days like that, Chris, also, man, something else I do, I might keep them closer to the boat, but I'll actually start using my rod holders towards the front and the
yeah, that'll
center of the
help
boat.
better too.
Yeah. Yeah. So not only will I'm using my back ones, but I'm now starting to use my front ones to get that little bit more to get, spread
Also,
them out better.
positioning your rod holders, like let's say you're using Smackdown,
Yeah.
don't just have everything pointing back towards the back of the boat. Angle everything out. Just have those rods where they're fanning out. The only ones you really need pointing backwards are the inside two.
Yeah.
And those don't even need to be straight. Those need to be kicked out so they are away from each other as well. So,
And that's another good point, man. I've got mine on the side of the boat pointing straight out. I don't have them angled towards the back because on days like what we're talking about, if I've got them pointing straight out, that's going to help me out even more. So it all comes down to a lot of different tactics, man, and positioning of the rod holders that Chris was going over, adjusting your rods towards the front of the boat.
trying to do all those little things will make a big difference.
That's it.
And
And
also,
days like
sometimes don't worry about your spread so much. Worry about precision, hitting whatever you're trying to hit. For me, it's usually channels or some type of contour I'm trying to hit. Sometimes you can't. You just go with the wind, but try to use precision over spread. I use precision way more over spread. Tommy's been fishing with me, and we'll be on a piece of structure. Well, you don't want your boards way out if you're trying to hit a contour
that's
or
right.
a channel. You actually want them tight. You want to freaking really get everything on that piece of structure as much as you can. Because
Now, Chris, when you're doing that, how tight are you putting your boards to each other? How many feet
I
apart?
mean, I may have, let's say I'm trying to hit a contour that's 20 feet wide. I may have two on top of it. My inside boards are just 10, 15 feet off to the side of the boat. So I'm hitting the bottom of the contour, top of the contour. Then I got one next to that in case there's, they're just at the bottom of it. And then the outside one, I got them out on the flat. So
Yep.
I try to cover all my bases, but I want to try to put as much as I can in the sweet spot. If you're for me, I'm always trying to hit something. I mean, 95% of the time, I'm either trying to drag a channel or a roadbed or a levee or a shoreline contour or the bottom of the dam contour, a secondary creek channel. That's just how, if I'm in an area, there's fish in the area, I'm looking for some type of feature that I can focus in on and try to hit. So it pays off. The bigger fish do like to relate to those types of things. So
Nice. Chris, I think we have someone that says that they're watching Laid on the Beach in Australia tonight with us.
what?
Yes, sir. 1858. Welcome in. Appreciate you being here, my friend. That is wild.
I don't see that one. Where's that one coming from?
That one is coming from, it looks like, on my YouTube side, Chris.
Okay, I wonder why that's not showing up here. Welcome in. Good day, mate. Sorry for the poor Australian accent.
Chris, another good question here. What drifting weights, do you prefer when dragging? We get asked this question all the time, and I think that's a good question. Is it a 2 ounce or more?
I like a 2 ounce in the lake 95% of the time. I'll go to a 3 ounce for multiple scenarios. One, if it's real windy and I need my boards to have back pressure so that they'll pull right. Two is if it's super deep and it's choppy and you need to pin your bait on the bottom. If you got waves, you're in deep water, you're going to have a jerky bait. So you need a longer line behind it when you're doing that, and which there's a lot of drag on your line, which will pull that thing up off the bottom if you're in real deep water and you're using 2 ounces. 3 ounce typically will keep it pinned. You want it pinned to the bottom, and a smooth presentation makes a huge difference.
A lot of people make mistakes, man, and that's a hell of a question. That you can overweight certain situations and cause yourself a lot more trouble. And that, like Chris was talking about with the 2 ounce, Chris, that's all you mainly use is 2 ounces, pretty much.
2 ounce, unless I'm in 20, 25 mile an hour wind. Rollers. If I'm in the rollers, I use a 3 ounce because you won't catch a damn fish with the 2 ounce in the rollers, but you switch to a 3 ounce and you might hammer them. It's a big difference. That 2 ounce is getting jerked off the bottom. It's just the fish are like, what is that? What is that? I ain't messing with that. Doesn't look very, something's not right over there.
Mm-hmm.
So
got another good question here, man. Appreciate the questions tonight, guys. Keep them coming. In the river, do y'all have as much success dragging in the winter months compared to your summer, spring, fall months? I'll start that one off. I have a lot of success in the wintertime dragging. Mainly because in the summertime, I don't drag as much on the river. I'm more after flatheads and stuff, so I'm doing a lot of more anchoring up. But in the winter times, I do have a lot of success on the rivers dragging. So I really highly recommend it to a lot of people.
I used to hear years back that you don't drift or drag in cold water. And I'm like, okay, you don't. I mean,
dude, to me, that's the best time, Chris. I mean,
agree.
it's the best time. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can catch some in the summertime, but guys, I'm telling you, if you take note and compare, you will see a drastic change, not only in the size of catfish, but in the amount of catfish you're catching in the winter times by dragging.
Junkie says, I only catch fish on the flat next to the channel. I've caught zero in the old river channel or
Are some lakes different? I would say this: the fish use the channels to move up and down. They also use them as ambush structure. It, all channels are not the same. Fish aren't always in the channel. Some days they are only in the channel. Uh, they use the channel to move. They also use it to ambush. So if fish are relating to the channel, you're catching fish around the channel, the majority of the fish will be around the channel. The very biggest fish in the group will be in the channel. It's usually going to be on the bends or a secondary feature that's right next to the channel. So let's say you got a channel and it bends out towards a main lake point, or some type of hump. You're going to find the biggest fish is going to pick that spot because that's higher valued real estate. Bait has to do weird stuff when it goes around those bends, when it goes down in and out of that channel. The other thing is like guys that drip used to try to line up with the channel and try to go across it, because when you drag down into it and back up the other side, that's when you would catch your big fish. So when you're fishing that channel, you have to think like that. You got to hit it in a specific type of way in those bends. If you're seeing where it bends up next to the point, try to hit that point, because they might not be in the channel, but they might be on that point right next to it. If there's a stump that's all by itself next to that channel, you'll see a giant fish laying there next to that stump a lot. It's just they like those different features within. If you're on a channel, it's that major bend, or a snake, or maybe it's a dog leg, or another good one is a Y, where you'll have a secondary creek that comes off the main channel. That Y, man, that's a sweet spot. Doesn't mean the fish will be there every time, but over time you start seeing, all right, that Y, I've caught giants off that Y, and I've caught some giants off that point right there where that channel goes next to the point, or where it bends right up next to the shoreline, right there where that thing gets real tight next to the shoreline. They love those types of spots. So just saying I'm just going to catch them in the channel, there is more to it than just fishing the channel, but certain sections of the channel they tend to like more than others. Where there's a creek, where let's say you're on the main channel and you got secondary creeks that are running up, they like to use those to move. And sometimes they use them as holding areas, where like before or after a front, they'll go where that Y is, just kind of hang out and see kind of how long is this front going to last. If it's colder, if it's a long cold front, I can run down. Like if it's a 1 day front and it warms back up, I can run back up that Y. And fish use that. Even if it's silted in, they still use it.
And Chris, a lot of people ask, man, well, what's the certain time of the day is best to fish certain situations like that? What are you able to find, your best times during the day? Is it different, or is it normally around the same times as the day?
Definitely different. Definitely different. I know earlier in the morning, they're usually a little shallower. Unless you've had some crazy cold front, they're all just piled into the channels,
Yeah.
But it's first you got to find what they're orienting to. The area, first of all, what I do is I find the area where the group is, because when I say they're grouped up, doesn't mean you're seeing all these fish swimming together. A group could be 20, 30 acres of 4,000 big fish in 20 or 30 acres. Every time on your screen, you see 5 good fish times 100 acres or whatever area that they're in. Now, in that area where you're fishing, what's in that area where you think is the high value real estate, where the biggest fish is going to want to be in that group? Because the biggest ones don't typically just swim with the rest. They find the high value real estate in the area where all the fish are, and they lay there. That's why a lot of times when you catch a big fish, it just feels like a dead weight. You're like, damn, I'm hung. No, that big fish is just laid there, and he ate it, and he just sitting there. He don't even know he's hooked.
Yeah.
Your rod starts going down like this. You're like, that's
That's
typically
a
a
good,
really
yeah,
good fish.
yeah.
And the reason is because they don't grab it and run. They just grab it and sit there. It just, when it comes by, they're in the right place because that's the high value real estate where the bait's coming through. They don't have to move. They don't have to go after anything. They just sit there, suck up the giant bait that you just presented, and they don't even know they're hooked. That's a lot of times you can drag them halfway to the boat, just not even a tail whip. And then all of a sudden they go nuts.
Yep.
They realize I'm hooked. So
You're 100% right. I got another good question here, Chris. Does the dragging the bait slow down? Does the dragging the bait slow down for y'all when water temps get into the 40s?
no, that's the best time to fish for them. Only time dragging slows down is when the water gets below about 37 degrees, 38 degrees. They'll start getting super sluggish,
Yep.
where you start really needing to anchor on them. I've still drug in 38 and done well, but
what's your thought on reels with line counters for drifting?
I don't use them, but I could see where they would come in handy.
I was going to say, I used to have some, and the reason why is when I first started out, getting to know the distance of my boards and learning to basically see
that helping.
Yeah. So I'm not against them by no means because I did have a few and I learned. And, now I don't have none because now I can pretty well just go off a site and feel and basically can tell you, how far and stuff like that. But I can see, getting, it'll help you out for sure. It really will. So I don't see nothing wrong with it myself. Let me get back here.
Brian, hello from East Texas. Tony Ramsey says, "What's up, gentlemen?" Ronaldo says, "Texas water temps really get that low?" Yes. Well, sometimes our lakes will freeze over. We could have a polar blast that lasts 2 weeks with 20-degree, 15-degree temps for 2 weeks straight. So it doesn't happen every year, but our water temps get down to around 40 degrees every year.
What temp do y'all put the drift gear up and strictly anchor?
When they go into wintering mode, which, like I said, the water temps get to about 37. They kind of go into a hibernation mode. Every big fish in the lake will all pile into the deepest hole. And they are like stacked like freaking cordwood, just fish after fish after fish. You're like, damn, and you pretty much have to anchor then and use tiny little baits. And that's how we fish it.
But how long has it been though, Chris, since you've had to do that scenario?
Last time we got it was we had what they called Snowmageddon here, where it froze and stayed frozen for 2 weeks and blew out all of our electrical systems and shut down everything for weeks. All the buildings froze, the water pipes busted in everybody's apartments. I don't remember how many years ago. It wasn't that long ago, but our water temps usually get down to about 40 degrees unless we have one of those polar types of events. Those happen about every 3 years or so.
Yep. John Wayne's asking a question, Chris, that he I don't know if he knows a lot of times, but this is what I do a lot. What's your guys' thoughts on using boards while anchored off to get really close to structure and hard bends in the river? John
loves it.
John, I'm gonna tell you, brother, I've been doing this for a long time, man. And I don't know if I've never seen no one else doing it on the rivers around here. But a lot of times, especially at night, man, you might not get to see it because I don't have my lights on my boards a lot at nights, especially if I'm in a tournament. I really don't want people seeing what I'm doing, but man, I use them basically every time I go. day or night. I'm putting that bait right on the end of it, man. So it's something that I would love to get with you and you go with me and we I show it to you, man, because it works wonders. It really does. So I highly recommend anybody on Anchor, if you're not using boards, man, try it. It's instead of covering 40 or 50 yards with your rods, you can now cover from one side of the river to the other side of the river. I can put 10 rods out on Anchor with no problems and using boards. So if you're not doing it, man, definitely try it.
We
Try to
do it
see.
in the lake when we're spot locking in like like a number of different scenarios. But sometimes like if you got a big polar front, it's no, most guys don't fish that, but I'm crazy, so I will fish that. And sometimes the fish when they do that, when that front's hitting, they are locked onto structure. That structure may have wind blowing right into it. You can't really anchor in 25-mile an hour wind with rollers coming in, but you can spot lock in it. And I will spot lock and pull my boards out and just spot lock with my boards spread out on the contour and hammer fish that way.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's really I don't know how else you would fish that. Uh,
Yeah. Rich made a good point. Yeah, you still have to have a good current, but you don't have to have a speeding racing current. I mean, just a good little steady current, man. It's all you need.
Ronaldo says, "Does the amount of line behind your board matter?" Yeah, it makes a big difference. Depends all on what you're trying to do. You're typically about twice the distance behind your board as the water depth that you're in. There's variables though that make you change that. Sometimes you need to smooth out your presentation. You need to put more line out behind your boards if the lake's real rough. You'll need more line behind your board. If you're up shallow, you want less line behind your board. You want them almost vertical. Or if you're in timber or stumps, you want those things almost vertical so that you're minimizing your snags. It's much easier to come through stuff when your line's just coming through the water vertical rather than dragging way back through a bunch of stumps and timber and debris. So
Yeah. I want to make a good point too. If you are on the river, know the depth of when you're putting these boards out, because you want to keep your bait either suspended for a reason or you want it on the bottom. So always know the depth and where you're putting that board. You don't want it way up out the when you let that out. You don't want it say up here in 10 foot and you have your bait in a 20 foot hole. So always get to know your depth. Also, I know a lot of people might make mistakes like that and don't adjust their boards to the depth of the river or the lake. So watch that out too, guys.
Drifty says braid versus mono dragging lakes, Jamie.
I'm always mono, brother.
You
I'm
know,
always mono.
I'm mono. I like the stretch for when it's wavy. I also like to be able to not have to stop everything if I'm really hung up in a tree or something. Braid can have you really messed up. The other thing is you're always constantly tangling lines
Yeah.
and tangling, getting three planer boards tangled up on each other with braid. You end up having to cut lines and retie, and it's a lot of time to do all that. It takes time. So for me, mono's easier to untangle. It's easier to deal with. There's stretch, which smooths out your presentation. I'm going mono, 1,000%. Okay. Tommy says 2020 or 21.
Okay.
It was brutal. Our lakes froze where there was it was pretty insane. So Everything was shut down. I think we had a really bad one before that. Was like when we hosted the Super Bowl here in Dallas.
Yeah, Kendall, suspend with my boards sometimes. So yeah, man, I tell you, I do a lot of suspending with my boards. That's something I do, and a lot of times, like I said, I would definitely have some on the bottom, but suspending with the boards, you can do all kinds of stuff with the boards, and it works real well. Chris, you do a lot of suspending in certain situation with your boards.
I'm in timber. If I'm shallow and I'm in a debris field,
Yep.
you can't really drag a debris field because you'll just be hung up the whole time. But
Yep.
you can when you just bottom bounce them or just barely put them off the bottom, or you're just like 6 inches off the bottom. I'd do that a lot in the spring.
Now, Chris, on slow days, do you ever bottom bounce your baits? A lot of time on slow days, try to get that reaction bite.
No, I use presentation on structure typically, which didn't work today. I try to
Oh,
baits is injured on ambush structure where fish like to lay and wait. They were not laying in wait today. They were not cooperating with my game plan. We got them. We figured some stuff out and got them going again. Sean Donovan says, I got my number ticket to go fishing on the Green Machine. Finally, took 3 years. Man, you've always been welcome. I told you before you're welcome. I've got a ton of guys that always ask to go fishing, and I will take anyone fishing. But there, like you said, there's always somebody. So if you don't get in on this week, doesn't mean I don't want you to go. You just need to stay on me. If you want to go, just ask me the next week till you get on. It's you're not pestering me. I don't. It's fishing. I enjoy fishing with people. So
Chris, you gonna start up a lottery every year where they can go and pick numbers and have to. You got so many people now who want to go with you. Hey man, that's a good thing too, man. I love it. When people ask to go with me, I love it, and that's awesome because so many people want to learn and have a lot of questions about certain techniques, and I love being able to show people. I really do.
more than teaching people what I do, I prefer just showing them a good time catching fish.
That's true. That's true too.
Trips, just when somebody just wants to come because they want to catch fish, they want to catch big fish. I enjoy those trips. I know everybody wants to learn, but I don't want to have to. I don't want to have to. Class isn't in session every week. I mean, I tell guys, I'll teach you. I'll teach you whatever I know. It's easier if you just pay attention. I mean,
Yeah. 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 Let's see here. When anchored using circle hooks set or wind down on them, are there times you change this?
crank your ass off until the rod is buried. Doesn't matter what scenario you're in, unless you're like flathead fishing, and even then, Jamie uses circle hooks, flatheads. You
Yeah.
crank down on them, right?
That's how I crank down on them. But one thing I tell you, I'm glad this come up. One thing I don't like to do is I don't like to take my rods out the rod holder
Oh
and
no,
then keep it in the rod holder, then crank down while it's in the rod holder.
thing is buried.
Yeah.
There's no need to take the rod out. Hell, you can drag that fish 10 feet if you have to. I see a ton of guys crank down until they feel the fish and then they pick it up out of the rod holder and then wonder why the fish come unbuttoned. Well, you didn't bury the hook. You felt the fish, but you need to bury the hook before you pull that thing out of the rod holder. Only way to do that is just crank down hard. Have your drag set tight and crank the shit out of them. And then if it's a really big fish, loosen the drag when you get it about halfway to the boat. You just loosen it up so in case it's skin hooked or whatever.
This is the This is the 12 that I use right here, guys. That's the 12 that we got. I use for my flathead fishing right there. And the offset on that is a lot to do with that hookup too. So
Yeah, you're right, Sean. If you're fishing heavy cover like timber, or even like I'll fish the dam contour sometimes, like if the fish are relating to that depth at the dam and they're on the contour, but I want to, if you really fish tight to that damn contour, you're in the freaking riprap, and damn riprap is it's big riprap. You get, if you drag through that stuff, you're hung up constantly. So I'm the same way. If I'm fishing timber or that dam contour, those ones over on the edge are at the depth that I'm in, basically. So it's just coming over. It may hit a rock, but it's just coming. It's, it's not getting at an angle, and you have a crevice. That thing gets up underneath the crevice. You're hung. You're not getting it back. Care what you're using. So yes, heavy cover, you vertical or bottom bounce that stuff vertical.
Chris, I want to hit up on this subject. I know a lot of people, man. We still have a lot of people. Offsets on hooks, man. Why is that so important? Can you explain to some why the offset on that hook is so important a lot of times?
Well, for instance, today they were clamping down on the bait, but they weren't turning and running. They would just clamp down on it and hold it in their mouth. And when they do that, and you crank down on them, if you don't have a extreme offset, you pull the bait straight out of their mouth, and that type of bite happens quite often. I mean, it's probably 20% of the time you go fishing that they bite like that. Especially if you're dragging. Say you'll catch one and then you're just pulling him. You got the fish on and you're just pulling him. When you crank down, if you don't have the extreme offset, you're not going to get him. You'll lose every fish. You'll lose every single fish. So that offset will help you get that. It requires a pretty extreme offset for it to be very effective on that bite. I think the Carolina lightweights is either a 13 degree or a 15 degree. That sun's, it's the most extreme I've seen. I have not seen another hook with that kind of offset.
Yeah, that's the 15 degree. And me holding it up, guys, I'm telling you, doesn't do wonders. I wish
put that thing in your hand and clamp your hand down and try to pull that hook through. You're getting it hung. But you go take another hook that doesn't have an extreme offset. You can pull it right through there.
Yeah. That offset, man.
That offset will do.
Yeah.
All right, moving on down. I got behind again. Imagine that. Biomass. Y'all know I love the biomass. We should be thick in it right now. It's not been happening yet. Oh. Tommy says just watch what he does. Yeah. You'll learn more from watching than trying to ask me a million questions. You will not absorb it asking a million questions. It just won't happen. And you're not going to learn it all in one trip either. There's more to it. You would need to keep coming with me. I mean, I can get you pointed in the right direction in one trip, but it's only going to help you for what scenario we're fishing that day. Hell, I fish different every trip.
Yeah, Jared, you bring up a good point with the flatheads, man. You need to be patient with the flatheads for sure. Wait until they bury that rod. That's a very good point, because a lot of times, guys, if you don't, you will miss that flathead. I promise you. If you're too quick, you'll miss them. Let them bury that rod. Let them hook themselves pretty much. A blue, pretty much, you're going to nine times out of 10, you're going to have him hooked. But a flathead, give him a little bit more time because he needs to bend that rod. And plus, if you're using live bait, you don't want to be quick with it.
Hooking a blue cat often when they're biting weird like that is they're not grabbing it and running. They're just grabbing it and sitting there. And when they do, they crush half the bait. They only have half the bait in their mouth. That's why I use the stinger hook for big fish. And because when they grab that big bait and try to crush it, what they're doing is they're grabbing it. They're trying to rip it with the side of their head. So they tail whip and rip it with the side of their head. And they're basically trying to kill that bait. They think that bait's alive. They're trying to kill it. Well, you can't catch them when they're just sitting there looking at you. I mean, you could whisker hook one and get lucky and catch one like that. But to really get it, you need them to rip that thing to the side. And so you're seeing when they're biting like that, the rod tip does that. It's like that's the tail whip. When you see the rod tip do that, that's a big fish. A lot of guys think, oh, that's just a eater. He's just pecking at. No, that's a big fish. He's tail whipping that big bait you got. And when you can see him, he'll do that 3 or 4 or 5 times, and he's just crushing it, trying to kill that thing. So and he will eventually let it go once he realizes something's weird about this. And so you have to hook those fish. And when he grabs that thing and right when he turns and that rod whips down, you freaking crank hard and fast, and you can catch him on that bite. Ask my buddy Bill. He's in here. He was struggling with that tail whip big bait, big fish bite. He lost about a dozen monsters one day before he's a top level angler. Before he finally figured it out, he just watched. He's like, I noticed you're catching them all. I lost 12 in a row. So eventually he's like, I see what you're doing. I said, you got to catch them on that tail whip. And he got it figured out. So,
and guys, I see some questions about the new hooks. We're still waiting on them to come in, but I promise you, as soon as they get here, I am going to let everybody know because I have a waiting list of everybody that has asked.
I've been using them, guys. They're top notch. They're exactly the same as the Action Jackson original, but they're made from German steel. So,
yeah, we're waiting on them to get here. I think I got 2 pages full right now of everybody that's asked about them and it's on a waiting list. But as soon as they get here, we will give you a heads up. They will be coming in 8s, 9s, and 10s. So that's the 3 sizes on those that we are going to start be offering right off the bat. So like Chris said, man, they're a pretty badass hook, guys. It's the exact same hooks, except for they're made out of the better stuff.
I don't see how they can't get hooked if that thing's in their mouth. It's
a sharp ass hook, I tell you.
That's crazy on them. Same as the Action Jackson original, but
yeah.
Lee says he was out chasing hybrids. Horrible day for it. Found a few. We didn't have any wind, Lee. It was crazy calm today. Danny Wayne Smith says, "What's up, guys? How's it going? It's going good, man. Still breathing. How do you get on the waiting list, sir? Just holler at me. I'm not keeping a waiting list. I've got so many guys that want to fish with me. You know, when I got an opening, if you've called and you're like, hey, you want how's it going? I want to fish. All right, well, because I fish every weekend. Okay, but I don't plan trips out 2 weeks in advance because I'm not going to say, oh, we're going to go fish and then I can't fish. But I'm typically fishing every weekend. I pick the better days to fish. This weekend, I'm fishing with just my son because he's missed 2 trips. I took work off today. Obviously, he couldn't go. He's in school. And then the last trip, it was his buddy's birthday party. He didn't go. So when he saw me loading everything up last night, he's like, you're going fishing? Like, yeah. He's like, well, I want to go Saturday. It's like, all right, well, it's going to be just me and you.
There you go, buddy. Chris, I know you showed this off before. How your stinger hook is. Are you running a circle hook or treble for your stinger?
Well, I don't talk about the stinger a whole lot, but I've been running a treble hook the last 3 years. Because I know a lot of guys get mad at the treble hook. They think I'm killing fish, but I haven't killed one since I've switched. I haven't had one swallow it since I switched. I run a 5/0 treble hook. I think the ones I'm running are, what's the name of them? They're not cheap, but they are razor sharp, buddy, and they are huge. They're like like that big. Tommy looked at one today. He's like, "Damn, that's a treble hook, isn't it?" I'm like, "Yeah." I don't know how that. If you get that in your mouth, how does that? How do you not catch that fish?
Still breathing. I tell you what I'm gonna do, man. I have got one 5-pack left. One 5-pack left. Get with me, message me after the show, and we'll get you taken care of, brother. We'll get you taken care of.
Kendall West says, "I think catfish are way more visual than what most people think." So there was a study done on that was in fishermen probably 6 years ago, and they ran lures through a tank with catfish in it. And I don't remember exactly the study, but my buddy, he's like, "You need to check this study out. It's very interesting about color and what catfish prefer." So they ran these lures through this tank, a long tank with big catfish in it. And they found that catfish prefer the color blue. They will actually strike the color blue more than any other color. So I've always taken that to heart. I try to put a little blue on my, if I'm using rattles or whatever, I like to put a little blue on mine. If I'm using the when I use those the teasers, because I showed Jamie what I use for the when I use the teasers, I like to put a blue one on there for my teaser. I don't know if it worked. I mean, if they prefer it or not, but I did it because of the study, and it catches fish. I know it catches fish. Now, whether they're going after the blue, I don't know, but that was the study. Blue is their favorite color. They don't see red very good. So if you think you're going to put something bloody like a red demon dragon, they don't see red very good. Catfish are kind of blind to the color red, which I thought, hell, it's like blood. You would think they'd go after blood. But they have the new research says that vibration is their number one sense. So sound, vibration. They say that catfish have something like 10,000 times better sense for vibration than any other fish in the lake. So they've always said, "Oh, bass have the lateral line and they really sense vibration. That's why they go after buzz baits and whatnot." But catfish sense vibration even more. And they say that a catfish can sense just the muscle movement of a bait fish in the water. They don't even have to be making noise. They can sense the muscle movement from the electrical impulse that the bait fish gives off with his muscles. That's how good their vibration is. Somehow they sense it through their ear bone that attaches to their bladder, their air bladder, and that magnifies vibration. So I think that's why rattles work. That's why when you're seeing sand bass or striper or anything feeding, there's always catfish around. They aren't really around them until they start feeding, so they just come when they hear that to check it out. That's why I think rattles work, because they're coming to inspect what's going on. Yeah, the Action Jacksons will be back in stock soon at Carolina Lake Weights. They should be in the next couple of weeks, right, Jamie?
They should be, man. Yeah, like I said, I've got 2 pages sharing full of people's names and everything, but we're gonna have plenty of them, guys. I promise you.
You like a
Um,
sinker slide or a three-way swivel for dragging, Jamie?
I'm sinker slide.
I'm a sinker slide
Yeah.
all day. Sometimes in the spring, if I know I'm going to be anchoring shallow threadfin shad spawn, stuff like that, I will put a three-way on so that I can do both. But as soon as that shad bites over the shallow bite, I'm good. I'm going back to my sinker slides.
Yeah.
All right, Sean, you get at me and we'll get it going, man. I'm planning on fishing a lot next few weeks, so
What's up, James? Welcome in, buddy. I think I'm trying to catch up now myself here.
Junkie says their water looks like chocolate milk.
Man, I kind of love that stout water myself.
We catch a ton of good fish in that chocolate milk. Gadget says I purchased the stainless steel large treble hooks, mostly for gar if needed. Yeah, these ones I use for catfish are much larger than gar hooks. They're insanely big.
Yeah.
I think I use a 3/0 or a 2/0, I think, for gator gar. 4x 2/0, and I think these are 2 or 3x 6/0. 5/0 in certain brands, but 5, 6. Ronaldo says, when will the Elgato Azul signature dragging weights be back in stock?
I just was looking, guys. I'm waiting on that material. Actually, the black and green and the green are our best sellers, guys, and we're waiting on that stuff to get here now. But I have everything else except for those two right this second. Y'all guys are really putting a whooping on them colors.
John Wayne says his water's always chocolate milk on the big PD.
Yes, sir. That's the way we like it.
John Lowe says, what's up, guys? I'm a little late tonight. Welcome in, John. John fished this past weekend. Had a pretty damn good day. I couldn't fish. We were out of town. So I thought today they'd be on fire, but if we would have caught them all, we'd have probably had a 1,000-pound day. Damn. We couldn't. Probably more, really, if we had a real high hookup ratio day. But that's fishing. Well,
looks like I'm all caught up right here. But guys, like I said, I appreciate everybody asking about the hooks and stuff, man. We're working hard. They as soon as they get here, we will definitely get everybody that's promised out real fast and put the rest up. I want to make sure we cover everybody that's been on the waiting list first, and we'll get everybody called up. But there's going to be plenty of them coming. They won't be running out anytime soon. I promise you. I think we're going to probably get rid of 5,000 of them within the first week or so.
oh, man. Lee says they had no wind today and heavy fog. That's what we had all day, man. We had heavy fog and zero wind. Lake of glass. Horrible, horrible freaking conditions for it felt fishy, but with no wind, it makes it hard. I mean, I'm not going to complain about it too much because we did catch a bunch of good fish, but just not what I thought.
Appreciate that one. We definitely tried, brother. I appreciate those kind words, man.
Juan's been tearing them up with them. John says definitely looking forward to the new hooks. You're going to love them, John. If you like the Action Jackson OG originals, these are the same hook but German steel. So
And that's these right here, guys.
they're bad to the bone. Same freaking offset, exact same shape. A little better closed eye than the Chinese version.
Yep.
And obviously it's going to be a lot harder alloy coming from Germany.
I can tell you guys,
Alloy rather than Chinese alloy.
we have been working behind the scenes real hard trying to get hooked up with the right people with these hooks. We've been, Chris, how long we've been working at this? We've been working at this for
a year.
Yeah. Yep. And we got a lot more. We got a lot more
last year, since right before CatCon last year.
Yep.
So probably we started talking about trying to get exactly what we were wanting because it wasn't not out there.
The problem is there's a lot of hooks out there, guys, but finding the right offset on the hook was our biggest thing. And we found the exact same
right offset with the right metal.
That's it. That's it.
It's not
That's it.
Jeez.
Chris, we looked at how many, man, hundreds of hooks, guys, and this one right here is the exact same offset. A lot of things as our other hook that we had so much success with, and y'all guys are gonna love it. I can tell you're gonna love it.
Yeah, it's not a super heavy gauge, so much better for dragging big baits. Super sharp, wide gap, extreme offset, closed eye. I don't know what else you would want in a hook. To me, it's perfect for what I'm doing.
Speaking of CatCon, are y'all planning on making an appearance at the National Catfish Expo in May? Guys, we made an announcement, I believe, what was it, last week, Chris? We were actually going to take this year off from going to the shows, guys. So this year we will not be hitting the road. We're so busy here at the house. The website is off the charts. We appreciate y'all guys. But this year we're going to take it easy this year. So
I'm not going to any shows this year. Not until they prove what they're going to be.
Yeah. Yep.
Memphis is interesting, but the big rod companies aren't going. Jamie's not going. Know a lot of people that aren't going. So
we were on. That's it, and we were on the road so much last year. I'm gonna tell you guys, we really burned ourselves out last year. We spent I believe 14 days in PA for that 9-day show up there. We were all over Kentucky. We were all over the place last year, but this year we're just going to lay low and we're going to revamp a lot of items this year. We're going to upgrade a lot of things this year, and we're going to put a lot of focus into Carolina lake weight. So y'all guys, we're not only going to stop at the hooks. There's a lot more stuff coming down there. I can promise you.
Donna says she knows what she's getting Derek for her anniversary anniversary. Lewis Parker says Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, buddy.
Merry Christmas, buddy.
Gadget Green says as long as they don't rip through the lips, they're gonna rip some lips for sure. Man, I caught a big ass fish today that had the lip had been completely ripped out at a young age.
Wow.
Probably from a jugger or a trot line, and the eyeball was missing. So no eye and just ripped.
Wow.
Perfect for holding though, because you put your hand right in there in that ripped lip. Freaking catfish are resilient.
I will say I see I don't know if I believe it's Pete with SmackDown Rod Holders is on here, guys. They will be at the Twisted Cat Show in Memphis, February the 20th and 21st. So definitely go by and check and get you some SmackDown rod holders. They will be there.
We've been slinging a lot of SmackDowns on the show. I know a lot of guys from the show have been buying SmackDowns.
Yep. Matter of fact, I was talking to Pete just not too long ago. We're going to get some other rod holders and show them off here shortly. As soon as he turns some loose, we're going to put, I believe, the torpedo ones on the side of the boat. We're going to show them off here shortly.
What's the
So
torpedo ones?
the ones where goes on the side rail of the boat that holds your rods. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, they're not called a torpedo.
Well, that's me calling them the torpedoes.
A rocket launcher.
Yeah. So we're going to be putting some of those on the boat. We're going to get a couple of sets of those, and we're going to show them off.
Nice. Those are real nice.
They are. I can't wait to get a set of those.
Yeah, if there was one reason I would go, it was be to see Pete.
Yeah.
But it's expensive. The other thing is my son. I've got to, I want to take him. I don't know, kind of what they have set up for kids like CatCon did, so that kind of makes me nervous to take him up there. And I don't know. There's no Carolina Lake weights. I mean, I'm sure Pete would allow him to just go hang out at SmackDown all day, but I don't know if he'd want that. Rocket launchers are in production, Jamie.
Oh, that's what I like to hear, man. I know. We got a lot of excited people. I've actually spreaded word out there, and they said they can't wait to see them on the boat here locally. So we got a lot of excited people out there, man, for the rocket launchers.
So,
and
Richard, the rocket launchers it's just for stowing your rods when you move.
Yeah.
So a lot of guys don't want to leave them in the rod holders, even though that's what I do. I leave mine in the rod holders. I've been doing it every week for 5 years with my SmackDowns. Never lost a rod, and I don't set them down in there either. They're right on the rod butt. I mean, just like how I fish with them. I don't lose them, but some guys want that extra, security of being a. Plus, if you're, I guess maybe if on the river or something, and you're going through brush, shoreline stuff.
And Chris, what I love about too, man.
I guess the rocket launchers, are they pitched back a little bit?
Yes, they're going to be pitched back like this a little bit. And plus, what I love, man, is it keeps my poles, because I take so many poles out on the side of the boat, out from being in the middle and all this. I mean, it puts them nice and neat up on the side, and use the spare rods right there, man. It's such a neat item to have. It really is. And they're gonna fit right on the rails of that ProCat.
Yeah.
So it's gonna work out good. There's no drilling or nothing like that. So
that's cool. A lot of guys don't want to drill.
Yeah.
I get it.
So I can't wait to get him as soon as he gets them and gets us a set, man. Who knows? Maybe one day we might try to give away a pair here on the show or something. But I got a lot of locals here, and we've talked, and they can't wait to see them. That's for sure.
Yeah. When I first saw them come out, I'm like, damn, I could see me getting some of those for the War Machine.
It's gonna be awesome, man. I like I said, we take so many rods, man, especially when you tournament fishing. You don't want to take an extra second to go and have to just grab another rod and roll. So I can't wait, man.
Vertical and angle models.
And I appreciate all the hard work that Pete and them and all of them over at SmackDown, man. They're constantly doing all kinds of.
Just keep growing.
They do, man. They really do.
I haven't seen anything that they've put out that's not been top notch.
Oh, I tell you, everything I've got, man, that's come from them has just been A1. It really has.
I would agree. Plus, I mean, I just like Pete. I mean, he's been real good to me and my son. I mean, I like to support good people,
Yep.
If I'm gonna send people over somewhere, it's much easier to send them to those guys to me.
That's it. And that's it, man. And I mean, all of our people are guys, they go check them out. They can definitely hook you up. And Pete's one, don't mind if you have any questions about any of the products. They'll answer the phone, and they got hell of good customer service. Really do. One on one.
Top notch. They also support their anglers. You don't have to be on the team or whatever either. They will show you love and support if you're in the social media fishing scene, which I think's cool. Makes people feel like they're part of something, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I see the YouTube side people are lighting up, man. SmackDown, awesome. Really good company. Love the SmackDown pipe holders. Yeah, we could go.
Not he's pretty new to them and he's loving them. So we won't even mention where these guys are all coming from, but y'all pretty much all know where they're coming from.
Yep.
They're loving making the change. So what's up, Doty? Appreciate the $2. We've been shipping out a lot of stuff, so that'll be helpful. Appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, they do also support Operation Vets with Nets with me and Jamie are both on the board of directors over there. So it's cool. I've helped get that relationship started. Pete was 100% on board with it, so I think it's cool. Looks good what you've done with that new boat too, Pete, on Operation Vets with Nets boat.
I tell you, that thing turned out nice, man. It really did.
Best Cook says, "What's up, Slime family?" He's just getting off the cruise ship. It's gonna be tough going back to work, man. You didn't miss too much of on the fishing today, Vess. We did all right. We got a couple 40s, some 30s, a couple 20s, a bunch of teeners. Jerry Parker Pursuits says the Trinity Rivers or the Mississippi River is pretty cold right now. 30
Yeah, running
or something.
running good. I agree. They are the best rod holders on the planet. That's for sure.
No doubt. No doubt. I like their bank rod holders for Gator Guard too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Different level of quality than anything else. I can guarantee you that the quality is unmatched.
I can tell you, Chris, there's been a lot of thought, a lot of background work, and a lot of trials and area and stuff that them guys are putting in over to make their products, like I said, the best of the best. And they have the best.
Yeah, and they're one of the show sponsors, guys. They're one of our main show sponsors. So,
what's up, Steve? Glad you're here, brother.
Getting married Friday. What? Doty? Damn, son.
Doty's getting married Friday?
What? Dude.
Congratulations, brother.
Well, Merry Christmas to you. I hope it goes well. Congratulations. Yep, your fishing about to get cut down probably a little bit. I don't know. It depends on the girl, really. My wife let me go whenever I want. She's all game. She doesn't want to go, but she doesn't mind me going. So. Ryan Smith says, "What's up, guys? Haven't listened live in a while, but I'm back."
Welcome back, brother. Chris said he did all right. That would be a great day.
Well, it was, I don't know. I don't mean to sound like whatever, but it just wasn't what I thought. It was I feel fortunate we got what we got. So, I mean, I'm not going to complain about 350 pounds of fish, but I was also thinking it was going to be probably double that type day. And what are you going to do, man? Fishing, it's fishing. I think Mother Nature's got, she has been just, has a lot to say about your fishing this year.
She's been throwing a lot of curveballs, I can tell you.
Greenwell, welcome in. Mike caught him a big old fish on this past week.
Congratulations, brother.
Lots of plans for 2026 coming up. I haven't begun thinking about that yet.
Well, I know here at Carolina Lake Wakes, we've been thinking about it for a while.
I'm focused on catching fish, man. I just want to catch fish and have fun with whoever's out with me that day. I want to try to do as best as I can when I'm on the water. Rest of my life is autopilot, really. I mean, nothing new. Dealing with my son, taking him to sporting stuff, about to kick in on basketball, which is his best sport. So
it won't be long, Chris. Football season be coming back around. Basketball season.
Fire up.
I was about to say basketball's here now.
He's a little hooper, man. He's dominant. It's fun watching him do his thing on the basketball court. He's good at football too, but he's really good at basketball.
And also soccer. That little man plays soccer a lot too.
Yeah, well, he doesn't play soccer anymore. He was decent at soccer, but I think he doesn't like just being decent at things. I mean, he wants to be good, and he's really good at basketball and football.
Nice.
Greenwell says they caught 220 pounds that day.
Whew.
That's a great day. That'll make you tired at end of today. He's like, man, your back hurt? I'm like, dude, everything hurts, man. I'm 51. I can't lift all these fish like I used to. Seemed like every time we caught a good one, it was me catching it. So I had to do all the heavy lifting today, which he was a good net man though.
So you were the catcher today. He was the net man today.
Yeah, that's usually the roles are usually reversed with whoever's on the boat. But for whatever reason, today, I mean,
hey, gotta change it up sometime, brother.
Hey, you better be quick on the trigger. No, he was on them. He just, it was one of those weird days. We were losing a lot of fish. The good ones that we did catch, I'm the one that caught them. So it was,
That's it.
What are you going to do?
Looking forward to promoting y'all and chasing my dreams. Brother, I really appreciate that, man. I know we're looking forward to 2026, a lot of great things. So
I'm not seeing some of these comments.
Country Roads, Catfisherman.
All right.
Alexo.
Freaking mouse battery died, so I had to plug it in, and now I'm back assward.
You're catching back.
Good fish I caught while Tommy was looking at the graph. You snooze, you lose, buddy. We doubled or tripled up a couple times, and we lost. Like we would lose a couple of them, and the one we would catch would be me. I got the long straw today. He got the short straw. So maybe next time it'll be his day, Usually I'm letting everybody else catch the fish, but Tommy's my fishing buddy, so we just when a fry goes down, you go grab the damn thing, you know?
Yeah, Justin, he's catching up with us on chat right there.
All right. Yeah, it happens. I'm just glad it was me and you on the boat, Tommy, rather than me having like a kid on the boat and a dad that on a day like that could be really disheartening losing so many good fish.
Dan, thank you for those stars, brother. We appreciate that.
I didn't see that either, man. I'm missing a bunch.
Wow.
Appreciate you, Dan. See if I can get this mouse working.
That's awesome, guys, man. We appreciate y'all guys always supporting us here at the Slime Show and at Carolina Lake Weights.
Well, Jamie, let's do a giveaway next week.
Sounds good, brother. Next week, is that Christmas Eve?
Oh, shoot. Let's not. Let's not do it because we won't be probably doing a show that night.
Yeah. I didn't know if I know I hadn't talked with you about yet, but I believe next Thursday is what Christmas, and next Wednesday is Christmas Eve.
Yeah, we got family stuff on Christmas Eve. We got to go over to my mom's house Christmas Eve. I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas. Hopefully, you guys got most of your shopping done because it's going to be real tight if you're trying to mail order stuff. Post office is probably too late to even get it here on time. I mean,
I can tell you the post
ordered almost 2 weeks ago. It ain't here yet.
I can tell you the post office, Chris, and I want to say I'm glad you brought that up. They're behind, guys. All the orders from Carolina Lake Weights we ship out the very next day, but I have seen that they're slow right now. So
yeah, it can take 2 to 3 weeks from the post office this time.
Yeah.
So,
but it's not us. We getting all orders out next day. So I'm glad you brought that up.
anybody that's subscribed to my Facebook page, and I hope you all got your decals. We got a new one I'm about to put into production. If you want them, go hit subscribe. It's like $1 a month, and hell, you're going to get it back. I'm not making money off of you. I'm losing money from subscribers, but I just do it because it's fun. I'm doing decals right now, and we'll do something else later after. I don't know. A hat.
And guys, also on that too. I mean, if y'all haven't, go subscribe to us over on YouTube, Carolina Lake Weights, and especially our Facebook group page, Carolina Lake Weights, guys. If you're not over there, come and definitely join that group page. It's awesome. It really is.
Yeah, if you've got a kid, get in there quick. We've got a deal going on. We're going to give kids $650 this week. I think Friday I'm doing the giveaway, I believe. So all you got to do is go in there and post a kid's fishing video of the kid reeling in a fish. I'm going to pick 3 winners, and we're going to give them the money. So Jamie's going to give them, I think, a little Carolina Lake Weights package, but we're giving money. I'm going to write them a check.
Yep.
So, and then I've got a rod giveaway over on my Facebook page. We're giving away Mad Cat's rods, and we're giving those away to kids. All you got to do to enter is on the post, go to my personal page, find the post for the Christmas Mad Cat's fishing rod giveaway. Post your kids' fishing pictures. Tell us your name, and then tag 3 people. You'll be entered. Easy peasy. It's like 190 entries right now. So I've already given away 2 rods. I got 3 more to give away this week.
Appreciate those kind words, dude. Everybody, we really appreciate y'all supporting us. I mean, another year almost has gone by for the Slime Show again, and man,
Crazy.
time flying, man.
Yeah. I
But
think we're over 2 years now.
yeah, I believe you're right, Chris. I think we're going into. Oh,
We should have done a 2-year anniversary show.
yeah,
We're well over 2 years.
I think we're actually not too far from our third year, aren't we?
I mean, if you add all the shows we've skipped, we're on episode 114, but we've skipped a lot of weeks for
Yeah.
stuff that come up.
Yep.
We're not to 3 years yet, but
We're not too far from it.
all right, guys. Appreciate everybody coming in, spending some time with us on Wednesday nights. We'll be off next week for Christmas. Hope everyone has a Merry Christmas. Hope everybody catches their PB over the holidays. It's that time of year.
Yes, sir,
Now
guys.
get some lines wet. So tight lines. God bless. Azul out.
Later, y'all.